This week I really want to talk about me pitching again in Leeds, and did I get the investment and how did it actually go as well, because Manchester went phenomenal. Did I replicate that again in Leeds? I also met up with 2 marketing agencies because that's the last piece of the puzzle of me getting ready to launch. And I made these connections in Manchester 2 weeks ago, so I want to dive deeper into how they went. And I also received 50 bags of Cosmic Hue, so that was the first batch. It's a very small batch, but it was enough for me to showcase it, especially in Leeds. So let's start with me pitching in Leeds. Like, all I had to do was replicate what I did in Manchester. That went phenomenally well. Leeds it went extremely well. But the thing is, I'll be honest, it could have been better. It didn't. This is me kind of critiquing myself. It didn't flow as well as it did in the previous one, and I thought, well, the first one's always the hardest one because I didn't know what to expect. It's all, I didn't know how to articulate myself properly. I didn't know. There's a lot of things that are unknown when you go into doing something for the very first time. Because I already did it and it went extremely well. It's just a case of, I know what to expect now when I get to do it again this time round, when I just did it for the Business Catalyst Club in Leeds. But I think I overthought it and it just didn't flow as well. It came across extremely well, but I'm just comparing it to the first time, which I thought just went extremely well. And people were coming up to me. I had loads of great conversations this time round in Leeds, in fact, and made loads of great connections. But the key thing is, the key difference is, because I received these 50 bags of Cosmic Hue, and just for context, if you're wondering why I've only got 50, is because I've ordered obviously the 2,500 units. I've requested for the supplier to send me 500 units because I don't need all 2,500 right now. Unless, if the optimistic me would be like, they're gonna sell out the 2,500, but let's just send me the 500. But I told them, I've got this event in Leeds, can you send me some, because now they're actually producing them. So they sent me, because they managed to make 50 in time for the Leeds event. So they sent me that, and when I opened that box, I was so gassed. I was happy. I was like, wow, these look beautiful. They just came out perfect. I've had, over the months, I've been talking about these pouches and just, they haven't been right. They've been close. Either they've been the wrong material, they haven't had the rounded edges, the wrong size. They're just not been the right. I've got high expectations, I want this to look perfect because the pouches of Cosmic Hue, that's what is representing the brand. That's what when you consume it, or when you buy it, when you're holding it, this is the look and feel of it. I want it to be right. So when I opened that box, and I did an unboxing actually on my Instagram, Master Key Manny, and I just loved it. They came out perfectly. Like, here's a final product. Like, compared to the ones you might have seen in the past, it's a slightly different metallic material. This actually feels really soft. And then I've added this part as well, so the difference was, like, here's like the original one I got made, and there's a difference, and you can see that there's no mention of gut health, energy and mood, because if that's sat in a coffee shop, cafe, independence, then at least when it catches someone's eye, it's like, oh, it's for gut health, for energy and mood. So I kind of tweaked that slightly as well, and I took 6 with me to when I presented Fifth Ray, just to showcase. So they just look there for presentation. You can see what it looks like, and when people came over, they can get an idea, and I can show them the inside. They can see the organic reusable tea bag. You can see the scoop, and people just wanted to buy it. Like, I really want to buy this now, and everyone had their own reasons why they wanted to consume it. And I was like, I'm not really selling it yet because I haven't launched. The website's not live, and I kind of want to do it formally and officially and properly. But people were like, no, can't I just buy it? And so I was like, if you want to buy it, then absolutely. And I ended up selling all 6, quite effortlessly selling all 6. People wanted to buy, a lot more people wanted to buy them. If I took all 50 bags of Cosmic Hue, I could have sold them all. which is really cool because it's also a validation of my idea, the product, and I know it's going to help so many people. And people obviously believed what I had to say on stage, that they really wanted to buy it. A lot of people have messaged me afterwards like, I want it for my friends and family. Can I order some now? So it's going great. And just to kind of round off the pitch, did I get the investment of £100,000? Not yet is the short answer. Like the crowd of people were different. There were more people who were more probably in the investment space. You know, the struggle I actually have with this investment is not many people want to touch a startup. As an investor, they want to see traction, they want to see money coming in, to see, then you can gauge the growth. For me, really and truly, I'm selling my idea, I'm selling the potential, I'm selling my dream. But that's all well and good, but to an investor, they want some proof, which is fine, because once it gets going, then I'll have people wanting to get involved and investors in abundance. So right now I'm still seeking some money really, but I'm not concerned because I've made a lot of great connections and people are helping me grow the business in different avenues, which is fantastic. Off the back of it, right, so we went to, from the Manchester event, I made a lot of great connections, and I spoke to, I made friends with a director of a marketing agency and an owner of another agency. So literally me and my business partner on Friday went to go visit them in Manchester. And the first one, we were central Manchester. These offices were next level. Like, we walked in and we're like, yo, this is sick. It was all like, it had big beautiful green plants everywhere. It was all super modern. It was like the new age of the office lifestyle. It was very free flowing. Everyone was like very casual. People just sat like, it wasn't just like sat at your desk and you had your big monitors. It was like laptops. It was kind of like hot desk style, but you had these big glass meeting rooms. You know, they were selling the agency. They are the #1 marketing agency in Manchester. They had like a random diffuser, you know, that diffuser as in like these scented kind of, I don't know how I'd describe it, diffuser that is the opposite of a candle. It's not an opposite of a candle, but it's a smelly thing basically, makes things smell nice. It was massive, it was like this big, and they were like, this diffuser is like £1,000. Every year we send the whole team to like a different holiday when we hit our target, and this year we're going to send them all to like Marbella. I can't remember the place now, but it was somewhere fancy. And I was like, these lot, the perception is they're top tier. You know, they had beautiful meeting room that we sat in, and you know, straight away they had these, you know, fizzy drinks. Doesn't appeal to me. You know, like filtered water, these little biscuits and snacks, and you know, that's probably standard for a meeting room, but it was just a presentation. The presentation to me is very important. So we had a great conversation for a good hour and a half, and they're going to put a proposal across, and we're going to see if we can make that work. Then I also saw another agency, and she was the owner, and the funny thing is, there were two ends of the spectrum here, because we went to these really bougie, fancy offices that were like, you know, we're the #1 marketing agency in Manchester. And then the other person who owns her own agency, we met her in like this really nice coffee shop, actually, like a bakery coffee shop. And I had a pot of green tea, and she had a pot of green tea, and that, you know, something like that is a good sign to me. If, you know, what's important to me, I want to make this clear, anyone who wants to get involved with Fifth Rate in terms of helping me build, helping me grow, like the capacity in, be it an investor, an agency, whoever it may be, the first thing that you need to, a prerequisite for me is you have to understand my vision. It's simple as that. You have to understand what I'm trying to achieve. And the fact that she had a pot of green tea as well. I was like, well, she's clearly a herbal tea drinker, so, you know, things like that, them little nuances, it pays more dividends than having, I don't know, a diffuser, £1,000 diffuser. They both had great things to offer. Like, I tell you where my head's at, and I don't want to reveal too much because I haven't made a decision yet. I'm waiting for the proposals, and plus, you guys might be watching, as in the agencies. Obviously, you guys are watching, but the people I'm referencing may be watching. So I don't want to give away too much. But what I will say this is that I'm excited to see what both agencies have to offer, because I feel like they can offer two diverse things. But I tell you, okay, I'm skipping ahead here, because I tell you where my head's at is, I think with fifth rate it's going to absolutely skyrocket, and very quickly in fact. So therefore I want a top tier kind of perception. I want it to just hit the ground running and quickly and scale, obviously within reason, because if it scales too quickly it can become unmanageable, and it could be like a house of cards and come crashing down. So it has to be controlled to some degree. So I have this vision that, like, I need the best, you know, the best marketers, the best agency, the best this, the best that, because fifth rate to me is the best. But I'm going to see another agency, actually, they're based in Leeds, and these guys, I've been monitoring them for months, because I actually was like, I want to go with these guys. I am confident they can grow fifth rate to the heights that I desire. So I'm going to see what they have to offer this Friday, in fact, and then make an informed decision of who I'm going to choose in the end. I've got an inkling who I want to lean towards, but we'll see. And you know, I'm just conscious that we're 12 minutes in. I like to keep these videos around the 6 to 8 minute mark, but you know, as the journey progressing, there's a lot more to talk about. There's so much going on now as we getting closer and closer to this launch, which is anticipated for late March. And you know, as always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You're part of the journey. Follow me on this journey. Let's see how far we go, which, I mean, it's going to be extremely far now. I know you're all going to enjoy the growth, and for the people who've been watching from the early days, I'm sure you've seen so much that's gone on to this point, in fact. So like the video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and drop me a message, just in any capacity. If you've got any questions, if you are unsure about anything, or just like you got any contacts to help me grow, because again, you know, it's not just me on this journey. I feel like we're all on this journey together. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.